Hello there and welcome to tutorial 2 in the series. Today we're going to be learning about the step sequencer. This is something I do quite enjoy learning about because it's fun to make beats. That's the whole point in this. So let's start off with the step sequencer itself. First of all, we want to know what each thing inside it does before we use it. So these little lights here, they're just mute and solo buttons. So if I play, I don't know, a kick on each bar, kick, kick, kick. If I was to click this mute solo now, it's gone because I've muted the track, obviously. And then when the light's on, then we get sound back, which is what we like to hear. We also have the panning knob here, which we can twit left to get all of the sound in the left ear, and vice versa, obviously. Obviously, we want to keep that centered for now. Volume, if you want to make the kick louder or whatever channel you're using, louder or quieter, just simply turn that knob there. We also have beats per bar. As you'll notice, this here has 8 beats per bar. Usually FL Studio starts with 4, so most people's will look like this. Sorry, this. Here you can see we have 4 beats per the bar. However, we can change it. You can have as many as you want. Change this number to 16 if you want. You just simply drag it here, and it's simply as easy as that. We have a sampler, which is what holds the sample itself. So here we have the sampler. We can click on it and it tells us information about the sample we're on. If you can see here, it says 808clap03.wave. that's the sound file. We can normalize the sound here, we can reverse it. If you click this waveform at the bottom here, it will actually play the sound to you. For some reason I think that's oh, there we go. Yeah, when it's reversed it doesn't play anything because it's not a very good sample for reversing, obviously. If we click on insert, we can also bring up the ADSR filters, which you might not know much about if you're only starting out, so I'll leave this out for now as this is for basic people only. But if you do want to come back to this at a later stage and fiddle about with the ADSR filters, then they're here. Just play about with them. You can get a more snappy sound by cutting off the decay. You can really cut that time down. Also, we have a little drop down menu here on the left. This goes between audio clips and unsorted clips, and if we create automation clips later on, it'll bring up automation clips in there, and we just click down on here just to bring up that, and it shows us each individual track within the step sequencer, which is quite useful if you're working in the playlist and you end up clicking an audio file in and you're like, oh my god, where have all my samples gone? Because all you've got to do is click down on here, click unsorted, and bam, they're there. You're back to where you were. It's nice to know we have patterns here, but how do we add samples to these patterns? Well, all we have to do is the file explorer here on the left, which I spoke about in the first tutorial. All we have to do is go to packs, and this will open up all of our packs we have installed on our machines. Obviously, if you've just downloaded it, then you're not going to have as many packs as me, but simply all you have to do to get a sample onto the step sequencer is just drag it in, boom, it's there, and then you just click it in however many you want, and it will just play it. That's all there is to that. And if we want to build upon our beat, say we have on our pattern 1, which is this drop down menu brings up some things I'm about to talk about. So for example, if we want our kick and our clap, so we want a nice little sound like this. Say we like that, but we want to build on it. All we have to do is click on the down arrow here. If we rename this first, so I can show you how to rename it. So you click rename. We'll call this drum 1, for example. And if we click this little box here, we can also give it a color. I'm just going to make this red. It's not really red, is it? Yeah, that's more red. And we simply clone this just by clicking on this drop down arrow here and going to clone. And this brings up exactly the same pattern, and it even renames it to number 2 for you. and all you have to do is click in what you want. So say if I want a kick there, a couple of kicks, and then we have two simple beats which we can throw together. Also, the only other thing really left in the step sequencer is to insert a channel. So if we want to insert one, we can add whatever. We can add cake if we want. And there we've got a default 4 beats per bar pattern called cake. There is also something else we need to add here. Say if we rename this, be a bit more sensible than cake and call it synth or something, if we click on channels up here in the top left in the toolbar, we can actually bring up a Citrus window which will allow us to use synthetic sounds. We can go down to presets, I don't know, say just anything, Moogish. There we've got a synth, and that's literally all you have to do to add a synth, or what's known as a channel, into FL Studio. Just channels, add one, and you've got all your list of channels here. I think that just about wraps up everything for the step sequencer. If you feel I've missed anything, feel free to comment below, etc. But thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching my tutorials. I hope they've been a great help to you, and if you want to learn about the piano roll, I'm about to talk about that in the next tutorial. Thanks very much. I'll speak to you soon.